The All About Nothing podcast may have content and language that isn't appropriate for some. Listener discretion is advised. With Zac King, Trent Clark, and Barrett Gruber, this is the All About Nothing podcast. All right, welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. I am Barrett Gruber, joined by Trent Clark, Zac King. We also have Jimmy, O'Shawn, and Shelby here from the Hall of Horrors. This is the Jaycees. It's the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees Hall of Horrors down here on Walter Price Street Road. Perfect.
All of it pulls out.
Yeah. So we're going to get into all that here in just a second. But just to start us off, please subscribe to the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, if you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of that, you can find all those details on the allaboutnothing.com. Also, we have memberships available. So if you have the opportunity and you have the money available, we're just asking for a little help. Maybe just throw us, $10
or $100.
There is a Trent tier.
And if you're asking for a little help, there's a Trent tier.
Yeah, there's a tip. You can tip $1,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the Trent tier. It's $100 a month, and ultimately you get access to Trent once a month for an entire 24 hours.
And you know what? Let's go ahead, and if you want to donate enough money to try and break the system, we're willing to let you try that.
That's right.
This is starting to sound like slavery, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
You have no idea how little you're going to get paid for that, do you?
I actually have a do.
Please also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, give us a review and drop us 5 stars. And again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, all of that stuff. You can find links on the allaboutnothing.com. Real quick shout outs. Big thanks to the Honorable Tim Miles, Mayor of the City of West Columbia, for being able to join Zac and I last week to give us a recap of the Meeting Street Music Festival. Also coming up Friday, November the 4th in West Columbia, it's the 6th annual Fallback Fest. It's coming up, and this is another event you don't want to miss. The music on the stage is going to be from 76 and Sunny, also Prettier Than Matt.
76 and Sunny is from Chapin.
Yeah. And
I went to school with him, played football with him.
Prettier Than Matt is also from he's from Columbia. I mean they're from Columbia too. So
I'm pretty upset y'all didn't let me know the mayor was on the phone when I was working on my car, because I would have definitely asked him to be on the.
We specifically told him Trent didn't want to be here.
I need to be on that set list next year, so make sure that happens, Mayor. Thank you.
Also, food and beverages from State Street Pub, New Brooklyn Tavern, Weco Bottle and Beer Garden, The Hideout in West Columbia, D's Wings, Cafe Strudel, a bunch more, Black Rooster. So if you attend and you don't have the money to buy normal meals at Black Rooster, then show up for this, because there's a good possibility you might have the money to buy what they have there. Yeah. Black Rooster is like a French restaurant. It's
finger food. I think they have.
It's supposed to be really good.
Tried escargot for the first time there.
Oh. Fried or steamed?
No, I guess, however, it's all slimy and gross.
Okay, so steamed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know.
He's like, we got these out there cutting outside. Yeah.
for our listeners that have never had escargot, it's snails. So
it is indeed snails.
Lots of butter, snails. Also, some of the vendors that are going to be there: Three Oaks Florist and Interiors, Ed's Edition Bookstore, Spa 131, State Street Trading Company, West Point Coins, and a lot more. So you can check our show notes for a link to all of the details there. They're also going to have live mural art.
Nice.
And I assume that means that people are going to be in the art. Is that what that means?
I mean, maybe.
I thought you meant spray painting taggers.
I think they're going to be painting it in front of you.
I was hoping it was people imposing.
It could be.
That is Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
Maybe like one of your.
Are mannequins that expensive now? Is that what the problem?
Just go for real people at this point.
That's fair.
All right, just lay against the wall. I'm doing an outline.
So again, check the show notes. We have details and a link that'll take you to the upcoming Fallback Festival at the West Columbia. So I keep looking at the fan. The camera's over there.
It's all right.
So we are here again at the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees Hall of Horrors. They open up this weekend.
Correct.
Now this show doesn't publish until
all of us freaking out.
That's 2 days.
I'm scared and sweaty now.
That's less than 2 days, right? 2 days.
The episode doesn't air until Monday.
Okay.
So we'll miss the first weekend. But ultimately, this is exciting. So how many years have you all been doing? How many years is it total for Hall of Horrors?
Well over 40 by this point.
40
years of
for Hall of Horrors itself, not each individual.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was doing some math. I was doing some math, seeing how old y'all were. Just quick.
Oh, it started this way back when.
I was here at the
Back
first
in my
one.
day.
But how long have you guys been putting it on? And the only reason I ask that is because years and years, like 20 years ago, I worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I worked for a guy that Mark Austin, who used to be a part of the Cayce-West Columbias, way before y'all's time, I'm guessing. But he was my manager at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and he actually worked at the Hall of Horrors way back then.
Is he still with us?
I'll be
That's
honest.
for research
In
purposes.
spirit,
I would like to reach out to him just
He's
to
in
see,
this room,
like,
actually.
Maybe he wants to
Come
come
back
and
and
see
help.
what. Yeah. What
Well, you
it's
might be
become.
disappointed. He might
Break
be like,
the
back
coin
in my
stop
day, it
if
was a
you're
kid in a sheet scaring everybody.
Low key, some nights that's what it still is.
I
So.
assume he's still alive.
Okay, well,
'Cause-
reach out to him. Have his people.
Yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find him.
You
But
graduated
yeah,
high school with him?
no, I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield with him. He was my manager.
Sorry, I was confused.
Although I'll be honest, I don't think he was that much older than me.
There's not a lot of people that's much older than you.
So I want to introduce everybody to the show. I know I did it briefly, but we have Jimmy down here at the end. And Jimmy, please describe what your job is.
Here,
Yeah.
okay, a little bit of everything.
A little bit closer to the mic. A little bit closer.
Yeah, design, ideas. I feel like all of us really dabble in
Kinda
everything.
share
It's a
it,
true
yeah.
collaboration. We just bounce ideas off of everyone, and then somebody goes and builds something.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool. And
Well,
Sean.
this is our second time meeting with you all. And
Cool.
last time I was creator of Nightmares, so I'm still going to stick with that title.
Creator.
I love that.
I like that.
Yeah, so, but like Jimmy said, we all do everything together. I'm very fortunate to work with the people that I work with because they allow me to come in and like all conceptualize something at the end of, this season. And then 2 years in a row, I've been very lucky. Last year, guessed vampires well before, and it trended in the industry. And then this year, seems like, the farm theme, scarecrows and pumpkins is trending as well. But they let me kind of pick the theme and like a general oversight of the project. And like he said, we just kind of get into the groove of things. And it's like, hey, I want this room to be this, this, and this. But like we all kind of bounce off of each other, floor plan and everything like that. So creative Nightmares, yeah, we all do everything. So
So what you're saying is all in a bunch. A lot of people been stealing your swag.
that's exactly what I'm saying. And
Let 'em know, man.
In
Let 'em
so
talk
many
directly to 'em.
words, I didn't want to be the one, but yeah.
It's a certain farm out there that can't compete.
Oh, well, we're not going to. No slander.
I didn't say that. I just
we
said a
are
certain
friends.
farm.
We are friends.
They don't know what farm we're talking
We are
about.
friends.
So I also want to introduce Shelby. Shelby, what would you describe your job as?
Same as the other two, except for I'm probably more of the thorn in the side because I have to handle a lot of the logistics now because I run the JC side of things.
Okay.
So just not riding them too hard, but staying on top of them to make sure they're doing what they do, but also everything else. Just
well, I was
help
going
them
to
with-
add, last time we talked, I was the chapter president. Now Shelby is our illustrious
Oh,
chapter
congratulations.
president.
Congratulations.
And I will never be chapter
Thanks.
president. Because
You
It's
didn't
because
write
you're
the
black.
Nightmares.
I do. Well,
Because you're black. Let it be
I
known.
strictly do the haunted house stuff, but I also want to kind of give Shelby credit this year because we kind of condensed the team a little bit this year in terms of like the people that are actually here consistently doing work. Not to poo-poo on anyone else. People come when they can.
Sure.
However, I'm fortunate with the job that I have during the day that I get a lot of free time. But even if not, they step in. And this year, I've been doing a lot of the construction. For a good bit of things like this beautiful house behind us. But she's
We'll
come in
definitely
and
get into this here in just
done
a
a
little
lot
bit.
of detail stuff this year, which I'm very proud of because like that's been my thing for a long time. Like I have that creative eye, but we all have the creative eye. That's because Jimmy, like I said, is an interior designer, so he'll come up with the layout. He definitely laid everything out for us this year, and just does everything. So I'm very proud of her this year because she stepped
I
up
want
and
to add to that because what I think is so special and awesome about our team is that it's almost like we do a dance about what we're actually doing. So he brought up about Shelby doing a lot more detailing. In the past, I had done a lot more detailing. This year, I had done a lot more constructing.
Yep.
So here I was, full on drill back there, making shit. Can we curse? Well,
Oh,
we just
yeah.
did. All right, making shit.
This is the internet.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember your first time in the
Yeah.
studio. I have a video of someone fellatiating a microphone.
oh, so that's why I told you don't be
That's
surprised.
why-
It's like, yeah.
That's why they didn't come during pre-production.
But yeah, that's what's so awesome is that because it's almost like a collective, we can experiment and dabble with whatever either
Yeah.
the need is or whatever we want to try out. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. So you mentioned the facade that we have behind us. So I really want to know. You told me earlier you all gutted the entire thing this year.
Correct, which
Yes.
we have not done in forever. It was much needed. However, this year decided to rip everything out. So this is from the ground up, brand new layout. Kind of like what you mentioned. You guys were surprised because you guys have been through the show. You're like, you're not coming in over, where
Yeah.
you used to come in.
Yeah,
We're actually coming in from the back and then sending them out through the side, which we haven't used the side in forever either. So new layout, all new construction, and it's been every bit of that.
Headache.
I don't sleep.
So with gutting
Yeah.
it out, what's the weirdest thing you found?
Honestly, okay,
That
so
wasn't supposed to be
now
in here.
this isn't this year, but I found mummified hot dogs in drawers of props. And I know this comes from actors because we give them food and water bottles we find everywhere
Sure.
at this point. But yeah, I found a mummified hot dog one year. So
Okay.
Got people scared.
I mean, honestly, my favorite part about the teardown was the stuff I found.
Yeah.
We had that big pyramid last year, and
Yeah.
as I'm taking foam blocks off of it, there's little Fireball mini bottles just falling out of it. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
where did these come from? And I was like, that was me. Whoops. So, like, during construction and, like, fixing and stuff like that, you get on top of something like, well, I'm here all night, might as well make
Yeah.
it fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I should stop drinking.
I mean, it seems like
But
it's
look how
working.
good this pyramid looks.
It did. It was great. Well, honestly, that was Jimmy. I just did some maintenance on it, but it was beautiful. So we took care of it as long as we could.
She did her time.
She did.
Yeah, so I'm going to step it up because I have worked in a haunted house before, but I worked in one in Raleigh and I worked in one in Atlanta. This was, back years and years ago.
Were you taking tickets?
No,
Were you
actually,
attraction?
I was part of the attraction. I
I can imagine.
Let me finish.
please let him finish because I'm wondering where this is going.
We're
Marvel.
friends. We're friends.
Yes, of course.
You keep reminding me that
We're the
friends.
best friends.
We're the two best friends.
So no,
Anyway.
actually, I at the one in Raleigh, I worked with my cousin one time, and we were operating a basically what looked like a fire truck on a track. And as people would approach, we would wind up the siren and slam a fire truck at them.
I wanted to do that. We don't have space in
Yeah.
here this year,
We
but
wanted a truck.
I wanted to pick up truck.
Yeah.
and,
It
like,
was
do something like
it was
that.
a good 30 feet run that we had. So like as soon as it started lighting up and everything, we came running at them. Like there was and the ability for them to get past or into the next room, like the door was actually closer to them than they thought it was. So they would back themselves up against the wall, and then there was nowhere for them to go because they're covered on three sides, plus a train coming at them. But no, one of the funny things that when they did the teardown of that particular haunted house was the number of used condoms they found in places around.
Well, I don't think they
Now,
want to
haunt
talk
babies
about that.
definitely exist, so maybe it's the lack of condoms.
I
But
was about
Oh.
to say, we
Yeah,
don't
it
find
wasn't
the
no condoms in here. So
condoms.
that lets you know
There was
exactly
a true
what happened.
horror show in there.
So
What are they doing? They're not part of it. Let's keep going.
They're
So-
being terrifying.
completely gutted the entire place, brand new this year. I guess tell us what the theme is before we talk about what all went on right behind us. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're getting a view of
It's
part
great.
of the set.
A whole ass house.
Yeah.
that
And it wasn't here before.
There's even a jacuzzi back there.
Yes. Had that installed for us, though, after hours.
Yeah,
Gross.
exactly.
Makes sense.
Guests don't
You'll
get to
find
see that.
condoms here. It's fine.
So the name of the event this year is Dark Harvest, and the theme overall is just kind of a farm that's fallen on hard times, and the dad of the farm is pretty much the only one left. And while his wife was alive, they wanted to, or they had a daughter that unfortunately passed away, and after his wife goes, then he wants to bring his daughter back because that was the love of his life kind of thing,
Okay.
his pride and joy. So he's reaching out on the dark side of things to try and bring her back, but instead of bringing her back, he brings back other things from the other side.
Gotcha.
So that is now the antithesis of why the farmhouse and the cornfields are haunted, because instead of his daughter, he has, all the spooky things.
It's anything any loving father would do.
Yeah, of course.
And then
Raise
on
your
top of
child
that, you
from
said
the
hard
dead.
times. This house behind us doesn't look like hard times. This is better than some of the houses in my
Right, because
neighborhood.
the way this looks better than my house.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah.
Well,
You
now
might
I'm
need to plug
gushing.
some holes or something. This is too
I'll
good.
punch a couple holes in the wall after
Yeah.
you.
Seriously wondering if you'll come over and do some of the
I'm trying to
cladding on the
tell
side
you,
of my
man.
house.
I mean,
Guys,
because
I
he-
don't have
No, but Jimmy did this whole thing. He literally did this whole thing by himself.
He
it was
looked
his
at us
baby.
outside.
I was about to
was
say
like,
now
hey,
I'll give them credit because they helped me rip rip all the like panels down, but I specifically asked them like, can I have this project? Like, out of anything, I just wanted to prove to myself. So
Let me ask, as far as the cladding goes, because I am enamored, like, did you purposely make it so that some of them were a little cockeyed and some of them won't?
I'm gonna go with yes on that answer.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Because it
Considering
looks,
I cut a lot of them, yes.
You see, Barrett, you're throwing people under the bus right here.
no,
Thanks for pointing
but
out
it
the bad
looks
things.
so authentic.
Yes.
You know, it looks like a farmhouse you would see out in the middle of nowhere that's been abandoned.
You can say rundown. It's fine.
Well, when y'all are done with it, Barrett's moving in.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's fine.
And then on top of that, with what you said when we first got here, what you're building outside, and once you first said that, you was like, "Yeah, I see a farmhouse here." I'm like, "Okay." You said 2 days to do it. I said, "Okay." I was a little skeptical, but when I see this, I
So-
know anything is possible.
So I'm still a little nervous because yes, like you're mentioning, we're trying to put a barn facade on the backside
Yeah.
where people enter into, and we have the rest of tonight. Tonight is what, Wednesday, and
Yeah,
we open
correct.
Friday. So then all of tomorrow, and then Friday before we open.
Correct.
which
So
we're eating up into that time.
I'm a
by
little
recording.
nervous.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I was looking forward to you guys being here. So thank you, but yeah, you're eating into our time.
But you gave me
Next
a
year
nail
we'll-
gun and a waist belt with tools on it. So
I
Well,
did, and
the-
don't forget the beer.
Yes.
Don't
Exactly.
forget the beer.
I want to ask, so for this particular event, we know that some of these haunted houses come with a cutoff as far as age and how young you can be. What would you all consider to be the cutoff this year, just based on what you think you're going to be doing when you open?
Do you mean scare-wise or
Yeah,
working-wise?
scare-wise.
So
Scare-wise.
this is a Madam President question.
I like to think that we try to do a, excuse me, kind of family-oriented just because, kids like this stuff too, but I hate seeing people walk their 5-year-olds through here kicking and screaming. It's like, oh, they like scary stuff.
Yeah.
No, I hate it. Like, if I had to aim for an age, maybe 10 or older, and that's kind of pushing it to me.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
That's good.
That
Yeah.
seems good.
if you
10
really have
10
like a
sounds good.
terrifying child that really is just
So your
narcissistic.
children.
my 3-year-old will be the most terrifying thing in this place. I promise.
Oh,
And we've
my
seen that.
3-year-old's got your 3-year-old beat.
And then the 10-year-old, 10-year-olds, they're not going to go in if they really don't want to go in. But
That
you know
one
what
kid
I'm
was
saying?
so out of breath. He ran so fast.
Yes,
that
yes,
recorded.
yes, that was
My
funny.
God.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my God.
absolutely have to come up here one night and get Trent to interview.
Oh, you'll
people that have
definitely-
just
I'll
come
definitely
out.
interview.
Oh,
Coming
we're
out.
coming back. We're
And
gonna
just
be
go-
here. We're gonna
just go
see
in.
it, and it's true, not light, but darkness.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
only reason I asked that because I want people to know, but like I have 8-year-olds that are into like Five Nights at Freddy's, and like I just happened to catch one of them playing a video game today where she had a circular saw in her hand and she was chopping up a baby.
Does she
Or
wanna
not a
work
baby,
here?
Said
Yeah,
chopping
even
up a
I
baby?
went to Five Nights. I'm like, I'm done with this game.
So,
It's-
Barry, you don't care about that M sign that's on these games or something? Like,
I don't.
He
I'm at
doesn't
work.
look.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
He said
Plausible
happen to
deniability.
catch.
Well,
Yeah.
let's say as far as like the kid thing, honestly, I tell every parent, gauge your own kid. If you think they can make it
Yeah.
through, go ahead. If they can't, I'm not giving you a refund. So
Yeah, that's fair.
We tried.
And part of the thing too, the variable is what you don't see, and that's our actors, and their intensity level is variable.
Yeah.
Because it can be a different person each night. They may be trying to play it really big one night and small another.
A lot of
So
postal
there's
workers
been-
here.
There's been people who have brought kids to the floor because of their intensity so much they just can't handle it.
Wow.
So it
And they don't break character because
And they
you
will
have
not
other people in
because-
that group. So
Yeah.
they're like, I'm not taking away from their show by like taking it easy on a kid. So
yeah, I tried
like,
to
here
interview
we
the little
go.
guy. He wasn't going for it. Like,
Dylan, year number 2. Shout out to Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the little cowbell going.
Yes. He was
Is
going crazy.
Dylan going to be
You'll
here
actually
this
see him later. He's coming up here later to do some
Nice.
stuff with us too. So he'll be here.
year? We've never been introduced.
We
But,
have.
like, no,
Not him
no.
having a fan.
Have I haven't
Yes,
met.
you were there. He was there, but he didn't want to break character that
No.
night.
I say introduce. Yeah, okay. So I mean introduced to Dylan because I remember we had I want to say for some reason we were at D's Wings. It must have been after kickball one night, and I think you all must have been still in the process of setting up. But I remembered him from the year before, and he came through at D's Wings to pick up food in costume and makeup.
Ah.
But it was the scariest. It was the scary, funny.
You
It
can
was
say
it was
funny.
the funniest
He knows.
thing.
Between him and the
Yeah.
chainsaw, it was very scary.
Well,
Because-
when Trent saw him, he was just like, "Whoa! Oh, there he is!" Big fan.
I love your work.
I love your work. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh man, that's awesome.
But Dylan was behind a window, like that was like normal size height window, and
see
and
that
like
little
stuck
hand
his head
pop up,
through, and
yeah.
his he stuck his head through, and was
Then
like,
he came
oh.
down in the bubble.
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
he came running past me.
Correct. Scared the shit out of me.
My wife was the worst that night. She climbed on everyone's back.
Except for yours.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
This is facts. We got it on tape.
All right, Trent. I
I'll
hear
just
you.
let you know.
well, she may love you,
man.
but
you want help
maybe
that
you
night.
won't protect
You
her.
Listen, when we're walking through and I try to shrug you off, be strong.
You've been
That's why
warned.
she doesn't grab you. Got it.
Yeah, left the women and kids behind.
So everybody knows, what's the schedule as far as when the haunt is going to be open this year?
Every weekend in October.
Friday, Saturday.
I think the
So-
last weekend is the only one we're running.
We'll
Thursday.
have Fridays and Saturdays starting this weekend, and in 2 weeks we go to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And
Okay.
then the last weekend we're open 5 days straight, starting that Thursday.
Yep.
I believe it is.
Man.
And Thursdays are blackout nights, so we give you a glow stick and we let you in and
That's
hope you
something I
can
wanna
find
do.
your way out because
A glow stick.
that one's so scary.
I can't
to
even
me.
imagine
Oh,
how
my
glow
God.
stick's gonna work this year, just with how much.
I'm bringing a
more we-
flashlight.
They take they
So
beat you
follow
at the
Trent
door.
around. Got it.
They beat you at the door, Trent.
That's okay.
No, Thursday would be the night that I would want to come then. Cause
Oh,
You
okay.
totally should.
Yes.
Yes.
It really does.
Oh.
It's
It's
so
not
disappointing.
my favorite night, but it's the guest's favorite night because it is darker. You take your. You tend to. Yep. You
So-
tend to take your time.
I feel like you're in a real horror
So
movie.
off camera, Ami is here from Welcome to Wonderland.
We should have gave her a wireless mic.
Yeah. We only have 6 mics.
Oh.
We are limited. So, but Ami asked if having the lights out, if that takes away from the artistry of everything, and that's a really good question because,
Correct.
you know, do you feel a little disappointed?
I absolutely
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Fully.
disappointed. I would just say like
Mm-mm.
a little bummed that people
seems
can't
like-
see.
Okay,
like
so
a-
maybe
I'm
it's
here for
2
the
against
scares.
1.
I'm here for the scares. I'm really excited to see people like more scared even on a blackout night. But like, we pay attention to the smallest details that nobody even sees anyway. So it's always disappointing when people
Yeah.
walk through. I'm like, did you see like the mold I put in the kitchen, or maybe like some of those roaches? And they're just like, no,
No,
I
they
didn't see
want-
that.
They
Tell
were
them
trying to
about
get
your
out.
kitchen thing earlier.
Yeah.
The character that he wants in there.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wants,
Jeffrey Dahmer in the kitchen.
They were picking through all your like body parts and
Ah.
like, the.
I can see that.
Also, by
Trent's
the
a
way,
big
some of your
fan.
knives are not secured.
None of them are secured. I just have to glue them down.
We picked up a butcher knife.
One is secured. And it might just be the fault of the.
Incidentally.
How's
blocker
that?
knife.
I don't
Wow.
know.
I think that's
But
it.
all the other ones,
That's
they're
okay.
ready
Well,
to go.
Ami
yeah,
went
none
straight
of
for the
them.
cleaver.
The one that Ami went for was just like, they're all glued. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, they're not.
Somebody
I
could
have the
die.
glue. I'll do it. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, if anyone's
I
gonna
was gonna say
get
maybe
real
we
scared-
shouldn't put this out on the
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
nah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on, wait. The
They'll all
knives
be
will be
trying
glued
the
down.
knives.
Edit this in
Yeah, yeah,
post.
fix it.
Yeah.
Right, we just don't tell them about the handgun that's in the drawer.
Oh yeah, well see, I just like bought our insurance today, so like shh.
Oh, sorry. sorry.
The loaded handgun.
A prop, of course.
Is that-
everybody
embarrassed
gets to
pocket.
walk through with
Oh my
a,
God, it's just
nail
like
gun
Resident
and,
Evil. Where are the bullets? I'm gonna keep looking.
So Thursdays. So in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks after the opening, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the last week of the haunt. It's going to be the entire
Thursday through Tuesday, I think, because Halloween is
on
in the
Tuesday.
week.
week. Yeah.
So
Oh, it's on
it'll be-
Tuesday?
Yeah, whatever the
It'll
last
be
day,
like
whatever Halloween
Thursday,
is, that's the
Friday,
last.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So 6 nights.
But also check our website, hallofhorrors.org/Facebook or Instagram or any other places on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
we'll
there.
check the show notes because we're gonna have all the links in the show
So
notes.
5 weeks of it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be right.
Goodness, 5 weeks.
Lord.
5 weeks. That's crazy.
Yes.
What?
You're telling me.
How does this work with your day jobs?
I'm
Yeah, do they hate
so
y'all
tired.
in October?
Like,
Yes.
well, no, it hits us starting in like August because these past 2 weeks I've been up here every night until at least 1, and then I get up at 5:30 with 2 kids and a full-time job. So
wow.
it's tiring,
I
but
can understand.
Yeah, ultimately, I have to imagine that, because we mentioned deceased farms. Well, you sideways
No, I
mentioned
didn't.
it.
But you did.
Actually,
just now.
yeah, he
So-
mentioned
But
but
it.
now they're here.
There you go.
but deceased farms, like those people live there.
Well, yeah, I
Right?
mean, not everyone. Like the owner lives there,
Yeah,
but
the owner
everyone
lives
else who does the work and everything, like I assume they all do the work like we do. But
Yeah.
not everyone lives
Well,
there.
O'Shea lives here.
But they're
You're
oh
here.
yeah,
I,
that's right.
I
That's right.
absolutely live here.
How are you guys doing on actors for this season?
I'm actually really excited about it. We had our actor orientation this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we had a really huge turnout, a couple new faces, which is always exciting, and just kind of gave them like the rundown of the show, what we expect from them,
Yeah.
what like the acting areas look like, and we let them come in here with the lights on and really see it, just so that they can get familiar with the space and all of that. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna have some awesome actors this year.
So when the actors start showing up, are you like, you see them and you're like, I know what you're gonna do?
Some of them, like our veteran actors, I can look at them
if we know
like
what they can do, yeah.
one of our girls who breaks everything. Her name is Ruth, and every year
Shout out
that
to
girl
Ruth.
wants to be in a box. She just loves a good box. So Jimmy built a really awesome big crate that
Jimmy.
hopefully she won't destroy, but I bet money it's broken by Saturday.
And that's why I said don't put her in there.
I second
She's
Jimmy.
already called it.
Jimmy's like, my word. My
I
beautiful
second
word.
Jimmy.
As soon as she
How
got
did you stay
here.
there crying?
Well, the first thing she said when she saw it, she's like, "That's for me, ain't it?" I was like, "I mean, I guess." Yes.
In theory, it was for her, but
Yeah.
in practicality, no. But
You're wearing
honestly,
weighted
there's
boots, you're not
there's
doing
nowhere
anything.
safe
All right,
here.
so 15
so.
more screws and 5 more pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Something like
Maybe
that.
a steel
Honestly,
plate.
make it out of steel.
Yeah.
Steel,
Yeah.
steel plate, heavy.
Yeah.
Maybe an anvil on top, that sort of thing. And then
You
she's
not want
never
her to
getting
get out
out.
the box?
You just need her in the box to make noise,
Oh,
right?
okay.
There's actually a spot in there she
Wow.
could curl up if she could just stay there.
Yeah. Well, one of our, I think it was last year, we had a coffin box over here in this corner, and the first night she was in it, she went to lift the lid that was like attached to it.
I
It's
remember
really
that
just
box.
a pop scare. She ripped the whole lid off as soon as she stood up.
Wow.
Just screamed her lungs out and then slammed it back down.
So then we had to attach handles so that she could just literally lift it.
Yeah.
that's
Just
fantastic.
let her
This is your
pick it
box,
up all
sir.
night.
Maybe you like
Hinges
it, but this one
blown
is
to
yours.
pieces.
I can tell she goes to the gym.
Yeah.
She doesn't play.
I think she does
She
roller
ate her
derby,
Wheaties
actually.
for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Gonna come get you.
A lot of people doing roller derby now.
Ah, yeah.
Pickleball, roller derby. That's all.
Pickleball, that's the
Pickleball.
number
That's
one
the new thing in
fastest growing
Lexington, West
sport
Columbia,
in
man.
America.
Pickleball and roller derby.
It's a 24-hour like pickleball play. Anyway,
Yep.
not to get off topic.
Yeah, yeah,
because
sorry.
I'll
we do
totally
that
spiral.
now.
That
This
up.
show.
Oh,
Sorry.
part 2, we're going all into pickleball.
Barrett hates it. He really
Stick
hates
around.
pickleball.
Please
I don't
explain
hate
it to me.
pickleball. I've
You
never
just don't
tried-
understand why it's so big.
Yeah, I don't.
Because people
I
can't play
follow it.
tennis.
This is the Jonah Hill. of
Is that what it
sports.
is? It's the
Yes.
Jonah Hill of sports. I thought bowling was the Jonah Hill of sports.
Well, you play that too.
Yeah.
That is a fact. I
Play
will
bowling.
try pickleball
Yeah,
out when
I
it
said
goes. So, in previous years, a lot of the money that was made here was a donation to Camp Hope. Correct? Is that still part of what goes on?
Oh, for sure. This is a Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees event. It goes under our chapter. So the money that we raise from this, we take a portion of it and donate it to Camp Hope every year, and the rest of it helps offset the cost of our
Sure.
chapter and its needs and all of that. But we still look to find new charities to sponsor or donate to, because Camp Hope is our pride and joy, but we also want to support our community, just help out any way we can.
Yeah.
So
It's a
not
particularly local
specific.
charities.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be looking into diversifying our contributions this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because we are Cayce-West. So
Yeah.
Not that we don't want to take anything away from Camp Hope, but that is a statewide priority project.
Right.
What about our own local priority project?
Correct.
So
I
Yeah.
like that. I do want to ask a question. When we first interviewed them, I thought that year was the year y'all were supposed to move from here, from this location. Was it something like that? Was something supposed to happen?
So if you don't mind, a quick little story, I can explain
go
that.
ahead.
Please.
So back when COVID hit, our chapter, like everything else in the world, kind of dissipated. And without a chapter, we don't have a charter. Without a charter, we don't exist. So it was looking like it might have been over for this chapter for just a cute little minute there.
Yeah.
But Jimmy and I actually put our heads together because he was still technically the president at the time, even though the chapter was kind of
nothing.
yeah, kind of going out of style for a minute. And so as our Jaycees do, I was voluntold to take on his role so that he could help advise me through that, and he helped me rebuild this chapter.
Yes.
So we almost were not going to be here anymore, but then we were able to revitalize everything and come back. So
That's so good for y'all. I'm so glad. 'Cause
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we pulled up here and I seen it was the same spot, I was like, okay, so they kept it. I was glad. I was like, okay, it's in a great location in West Columbia. It's real easy for people to get here. So it's, I'm glad that everything went good for y'all.
Well,
It's like a product of love at more ways than one. Y'all love doing this, but on two, making sure the chapter survived and all that.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, what does Jaycees stand for?
Well, so we're actually like one of the footnotes of a way larger organization. So it's JCI, which is Junior Chamber International. It's obviously an international organization. So we're down on like the bottom lower scales, but that doesn't mean we're any less important.
Right.
So it's just a young citizens group that helps personal professional development, get involved with community. Like on our level, it's more about what we can do for the local area, what we can do for each other and all of that. But there is a political side where you can move up to like president, statewide, national-wide, international-wide, and it's a pretty big deal once you get like higher scale. I've started going to like national conferences and they're really fun. That's what won me over into trying. But it's
Those free hotels.
No, I pay. We're nonprofit.
We keep tearing down the free hotels.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add that several of our members have actually gone on to, state and then even more so to president and even international roles. But the opportunity within the organization is to do things that individuals can't do within their day-to-day, whatever that is. So when I started, yes, I was doing interior design, but my scope of what I was given responsibility for was very limited. And then I just came up and said, "Hi, I'm Jimmy. I went through last year, and I really love what you guys did. Do you need any help?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
We took
Close
them.
enough, don't get fed.
But, it was an opportunity to truly get your hands dirty, do what you love. I mean, learning the business side. This is a business.
Yeah.
So while I may not own it on name, we have operated it. We know all the ins and outs of what we have to do. So that's something I would never have learned if I didn't go through this. I just would be ignorant to the process. So you can learn as much as you want to get out of it.
For the last 6 months or so, what are some of the things that the Jaycees, the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees, have had their hands on?
So we actually did a lot of traveling this year. We helped out with our other chapters programs and events and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time in the Low Country helping out with some of their stuff. Other than that, we had a pretty quiet summer, actually. I think it's because we were...
Helped out with Soiree on State.
We
here in
did, yeah.
Cayce.
Locally, we did Soiree on State and West Columbia Cleanup. We did have with Tim Miles. We were out there with him. And...
extra shout out to Tim Miles.
Yeah,
He
he's
is the mayor of a city next door, but because he was a JC and because this is the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees, he came up here with his truck before and helped clean up and throw out trash personally.
That's
It
awesome.
was
he
him
gets his
loading
hands
up trash
dirty.
into his pickup and taking it away.
Come
He's a
on,
man.
Tim. Come
Yeah.
on, Tim.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows,
You'll never see that McMaster load up anything.
I only
just
have
on
one,
the
I only have one strike against him, and that he leans on the fence between Carolina and Clemson.
No, he leans on the right side.
No, he leans on the fence.
On the Clemson side, he said, I heard
I
what he
pull
said.
for
He likes
both.
Clemson
They're both great.
and
Yeah.
Carolina when they're not playing Clemson.
Go
It makes
Sports.
sense.
I'll
second
call
that.
I'll call Tim during our break, and we'll maybe.
Yeah.
I was
maybe
gonna say,
we'll
one of
see.
my
Change
haunt
it.
shirts just says sports. So
Yeah.
Cayce.
We're lost to that.
That's great. Yeah, no, shout out to Tim Miles, especially because he started his campaign just a few weeks ago
He did.
to potentially be elected again.
I've been
for
seeing a
mayor.
lot of flyers and
Yeah.
posters around.
He's apparently very popular.
A lot of people support
Look,
I
if,
like him.
if I have friends that endorse him,
Correct.
that I trust in them,
Correct.
he'll get my endorsement.
Did you know
just-
Barrett had friends?
No, man, just but make sure.
You said not 30 minutes ago that I was your best friend.
I was talking about other than me. I was trying to figure out. I know I'm the only black
Sounds-
friend, but I was trying to figure out.
Okay, well, excluding what he just said, sounds a lot like us.
But, can I give one more shout out?
Come on with it.
If we're talking about mayors who support us, Elise Parton is a huge champion and fan of our chapter.
Very
like
cool.
she has been behind us 110% of the way. So although she didn't get in her pickup truck and load it, trash up,
Hey.
Okay.
but basically everything else. So
a real
the
nice
mayors
lady.
of both of these cities fully support us, and
Yeah.
we're just so grateful for that support.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's really awesome. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to definitely go into more on the haunt. I want to go into more experiences in the hunt, and I want to talk about some of your previous experiences, not necessarily here, but some of the places you visited, because I know you get inspiration from different places.
Well,
All
as
over.
recently as.
A couple 24
Yeah.
hours.
And
I mean, 24-hour like haunted places like they
Oh,
do a year
man.
round and stuff like that.
But you all travel also. Like you travel to some of these cons for
Yeah.
this. So we want to talk about some of that. So we'll take a break. We're here at the Jaycees, the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees here at the Hall of Horrors, which opens again on Friday, September the 27th.
29th.
29th? What is today?
The
Today's
27th.
Oops, today, right now. Hey, everybody.
Right now.
Please don't rush this process.
I'm going to leave it in.
It's not coming out till Monday, so we're good.
All right, so we'll be right back after this break.
This is the ghost of Gilbert Godfrey, and you're listening to the All About Nothing podcast.
All right, welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Trent Clark, Zach King. We got Jimmy, O'Shawn, and Shelby here. We are at the
No, we were talking in here. It's fine.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
do
We
y'all
had
have
a best
like
friend
Ian?
moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Y'all do that?
Telepathy stuff. Oh,
I thought we were all
absolutely.
best friends and we could share everything here, but whatever.
I was just excited that Barrett got my name right. That's all it was.
Oh,
and I
okay.
told him in my brain.
I'm not gonna
that's
make
what that shimmy was.
I'm not gonna make that
He
mistake
messed our names
anymore.
up when we came out the car, so you know.
Absolutely.
literally
For
did.
people that he works with consistently, he
Wow.
couldn't even remember their names.
Yeah,
I-
Barrett the other day said, he goes, I call everyone Chief because I can't remember names. I was like, Barrett, I have 2 podcasts with you, and you call me Chief every fucking day.
That's
Yeah,
like
it's
such
very-
a boomer move.
How you doing,
though.
Chief? I'm like, ah.
How old do you think I am?
Not a boomer. That's why I'm shocked.
Barrett is 65.
Okay, well,
Cleverly masked behind
Plus
that
9.
mustache.
right.
My mom was
That's as far as the ancestry
14
tree went
when
back.
she had me.
Hey, don't be shitting on teenage parents, okay?
Not at all. Not at all.
South Carolina,
Cannot relate.
Arkansas.
He just said he couldn't relate. He don't got kids. That's what he said. That's
No,
all
it's
he's
an
saying,
Arkansas
right?
joke. It's fine. Go ahead.
Are you from Arkansas?
No, I just was a teenage mom.
Oh,
Oh,
you
now I
could've been
feel
on
bad.
Teen Moms.
I mean,
No,
I
no.
Okay. She said
I
I can't
no.
relate, but
No.
I've watched the show.
That's where I draw the line.
I took care of my kid and I didn't exploit it, so like I can't do it.
They made a lot of money on Teen Mom. So
Yeah, I'd rather be poor.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah, just be on TV.
Speaking
like,
of poor, we
what would I
do not get paid to build this haunted house every
Way to
year.
keep us on
This
track,
is a
O'Shawn.
completely
Which him being the one
volunteer
that's found.
organization.
yeah. So
Wait, no, back on the Team Mom thing. No,
no, we can get off that.
that's right. Farrah Abrams follows me on Twitter.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Barrett, move
that's
on.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Okay, yeah, we don't get paid to be here.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't
so,
want to see Bears follow list.
So
it's weird.
But I
so
do.
you all. It is a little weird. Yeah. Lisa Loeb and wow. Peanut
Production.
gallery. Okay.
Jesus.
So I did want to ask, what was it for each of you? And I'll start with Jimmy.
Okay.
What was it that made you want to be involved in working for a haunted house?
So for me, I'm from Florida originally, and I grew up going to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and that was the bar. And I had always wanted to get involved with haunted attractions because of experiencing that. And then when I moved here, like I said, I went through as a patron. And when I heard nonprofit, I was expecting black sheets and Party City masks.
Ah.
When I came through and saw actual sets and actual actors in real makeup, I was blown away.
Yeah.
And that like really rekindled, sort of brought back all my love from Halloween Horror Nights. So that was sort of it. It was like experiencing it young and then seeing it old and the two coming together.
That's
Very
got to be
cool.
the best. I've always wanted to go on one of those Halloween horror nights.
We just came back from a weekend trip again.
Oh, you guys suck. Yeah, I seen the
Yeah,
food.
you suck.
Yeah.
I seen the food.
That's exactly what Zach paid attention to.
I seen
was-
the food.
I saw there was a lot of food down there in Orlando.
And y'all got to
Food,
see the
drinks,
Jurassic Park thing
and-
too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tribute store and everything, and we got to do a behind-the-scenes tour of the houses.
Really?
So, yeah.
Which, like how you guys were commenting on, all the detail with the lights on. Oh
Yeah.
my God. The detail there with the lights on, mind-blowing.
Well, they have money, so.
I was gonna say
yeah.
when you have a
Lots
when you
of
have,
money.
I mean, look what y'all do without money, though.
Thank
go.
you.
That
That
is
actually
very-
means a lot.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And-
give kudos when they're at.
Apropos of just talking about you're from Florida and you went to Disney and Universal, I assume.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the ride back in the day? And it was one that Bob Iger had implemented, and it was actually violent, where the alien escapes out the tube and jumps around.
that one is scary.
Alien
It
Encounter.
was horrifying.
Yes.
I saw that back in the day, and they canceled the ride, and I thought it
Yeah,
was
and
the
then they
most
put
amazing.
Stitch in
And
there
they did the
instead.
Stitch version,
Yeah.
but that's the one that I got to experience, and it is just as terrifying.
No,
Yeah.
I got to
Yes.
experience the
The
legit original
Me
one
too.
and terrifying.
Yeah, me and my dad went on that, and I was like, "This is the most terrifying, amazing ride."
Because
ever.
Stitch comes through and blows his breath on you, and it's like right beside your face.
Are we
Well, it
talking
used to
about
be-
Lilo and Stitch?
Yes,
did?
yes.
It used to be an
It's
alien.
just as scary. They
Well,
only
yeah.
reskinned it as the Lilo and
Lilo and
Stitch
Stitch.
thing, but like it's the same like attraction.
It would break out of the tube, and then it would jump on your shoulders, and the chairs would jump.
Squirt
on
water at you and all.
And
It's
they
like
lock
40
you in
That
with
one,
the
it was
roller
blood when
coaster
When
scenes.
they killed people, and it would spray, they would be like, and it would spray you in the face. That's
So
a
to
horror
give you an idea of the
attraction.
level of intensity, it was initially designed as an alien from like Aliens,
Yeah.
that xenomorph type alien. So that was the intensity level they were planning.
Yeah.
The rights didn't go through. And I'm like, well, shit. Now we've got to redo this animatronic, but they kept everything else. They just redid the animatronic.
Wow.
Which is
So-
very smart
Man.
because, like, I guess where the blood was, it's like where Lilo spits at you now. So
Yeah,
it's like
it was just
water.
a mist on you.
Not Lilo, that's a little girl.
Yeah, Stitch is the.
Excuse me.
That was
We
a
all
good
seen some,
question.
we've seen some
That's a
rapid
different ride.
out there.
That's a
Right
different
right
ride.
up and
That's
right on
six.
your face.
That's 6 blocks over from the Strip in Orlando. You have
on
to go a little
192?
bit, a little bit off Main Street.
Yeah.
I was on
and-
the wrong street.
Yeah.
Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
and
Just
her
the-
name is Lilo.
Oh,
Just so
okay,
you know.
okay.
And just because I'm not done mentioning it, you said aliens. We got to meet Michael Bean, and that was amazing.
And the writer's strike is almost over, so we're gonna have to make that call,
I thought it
Barry.
was over.
Yeah,
It
no,
is
yeah, it's technically over. They have a
Go
they
ahead,
have
and
a
make that call
tentative
so we can get
agreement.
him officially on the podcast.
All right. Well, I'll email them again. Well, it's the same thing. They came to an agreement with both actors and writers.
Yeah, that's big news. I was like, I don't think there's time for headlines, but that's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then another big one, Disney finally came through with Spectrum and gave them our channels back. So that's pretty big for us.
Bro, I've been on Sling.
Sling TV had it, which
So-
is crazy.
Oh, Sean, what is it that got you into wanting to be involved in horror haunts, that sort of thing?
So it all started when I was a young. No,
I'm about to say he about to get into it.
kind of mirroring exactly what Jimmy said. When I was growing up, I thought that I was going to be a Disney Imagineer. That's what
okay.
it was. Like, you can ask anyone in my family as a literal child, like 4, 5, 6. I'd watch, the Disney specials that would come on, the things where they'd show behind the scenes of the rides and things like that. So, like, in my brain, I had always wanted to be an Imagineer, build the rides, design them, do everything like that. And getting into a haunted house was kind of like that piece of the same thing,
Yeah.
except no one
That makes
tells us what to do because we get to we get to make all the rules.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the way that the industry has progressed, things are a lot more accessible. So it's like you can get your animatronics. There's like one-stop shops for a lot of this stuff, like the conventions that we go to. So it's a lot more accessible to get into the industry. You still need money, but it's attainable. You don't have to go and work for the big parks. We would love to do that, but
Universal, if you're listening.
to have the park, that we got McDonald's at home. Well, we got Disney at home. Like
We got a
can-
haunt at home.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the same thing. Like I've always had a love for it since I was a child. So finding these people, and I found this place incidentally. I mean, not to put too much of my business out there, but I got in a little trouble in college, and I needed community service hours. So I was looking for something super simple to get these hours, and no better place than the West Columbia Jaycees. And I just got attached to the haunted house side of it, and then from there, the rest is history. It was just the old people moved out. They went across to the place that we can't name.
Correct.
But they went
That we've already named.
specifically
Yeah, Barry.
there,
Thank you, Barry.
and after they
Very
left,
nice added it in post.
right.
I go there too.
We go there. We're friends
Yeah.
with
We
them.
can bleep
so-
your names out. But
Yeah.
with that being said, who's to say that if you went to go work for the big park, that this wouldn't be attainable? Because somebody might hate it. Somebody been like, nah, I don't want that idea. I want something. But you were here and you had the open availability to do what you wanted, and
Look,
this
well,
is great.
Well, the difference I'll tell you is going to the big parks like what we just did. It's the corral, like the cattle system, where you're really just kind of running through the houses. And when you go to your local haunted house, they're a lot more personal, typically.
Correct.
Where you can have a smaller show, less people. You're not really running through it, and then you have your personal touches of the people that build and design it. So there's definitely the extremes. But that's just going to any big budget park. You know what level you're getting there, but you can find something very similar and just as great in your backyard. So that's kind of what we strive to offer here: is a great show, great actors. That's always our number one. But
Correct.
I got somebody I'm going to send y'all's way.
okay.
So
That was up
he's
on
an electrical engineer, and he's moving back here. And I've seen him design animatronics and everything, and he does a really good job. And he would be into this. So I got somebody.
Absolutely.
Is he willing to work for free though?
Yeah, I think he would.
Okay.
It's right up his
There's a
alley.
good
I was
little
about to
like get back from that. We feel good.
Yes.
Well, define feel good, because when I woke up this morning after,
my shoulder.
I was here until 1:30 last night, like in the morning.
I just want to point out you literally made Zach choke.
He said free.
He's like free, feel good. Well, Shelby, what got you involved in wanting to be a part of a haunted house?
So I got started like here a lot younger than they did. I was about 14 when I got introduced to the haunt itself, because I also got in some trouble and needed community service
So the
hours.
JCs help out with
Yeah,
trouble. I'm starting to see a pattern.
We'll get into your
But
convictions
also, if
later.
anyone needs
Yeah,
volunteer
no,
hours,
it's
we
not
always need
like
actors.
No,
Yes,
Jimmy, what
right.
did you do? We need to know. now.
Yeah, Jimmy, you ain't just come here all freely
I'm
and
off the
neatly.
books.
He's off the books.
Expunged.
He's had nothing like
Strike
put
this
on
from the
his.
record.
Yeah. Jimmy's like, I just didn't get caught.
Yeah, true. He was
That's
the best
really
one
more
of
what it
us.
is.
The golden child.
Yeah, but after I started doing it, I kept coming back, and I was too young to be a JC, but we love volunteers, especially enthusiastic ones, and I've always been weird, so that helped. And when I turned 18, they wrote me in, and that was that.
And
Then,
we
then they
became
handed
best
me the
friends.
keys.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, but
And
us three
everyone's
got
holding
close
on.
like a long time ago. Like as soon as we all kind of found each other, and then we started kind of doing this together. And like, are we like best friends? Like this, we like this, and it's like, yep, we're here.
And that's the crazy part. Like, you don't generally find people that like get along very well. Like, we go on all of our trips together. We do
Family.
everything together. And then being here at the haunt when we're designing stuff, it's like someone might come up with an idea, and then we'll start spitfiring back
Yeah.
and forth, and like it just happens. So
Nice. So
that's
what do you-
very hard to find.
I want to get y'all take on like I know it was like a haunted house in like Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh.
where
Are
you
talking
had
about
to
McCamey
like
Manor?
yeah, it's like
It's
you had
not
to,
a
like,
haunt,
escape it or
and
something like that.
he's
Hence
stupid.
why
How
I
do y'all
said,
feel
oh
about
Lord.
that?
So my favorite thing is last year at Trans World, one of those conventions we go to,
Uh-huh.
Russ, the owner of McCamey Manor,
Okay.
goes to those. And like he's like okay in person. He's not like rude or anything,
Correct.
but those shows tend to like be like all business during the day, and at nighttime we're all hanging out because we only see each other once a year, have a few drinks, few drinks too many.
Yeah.
And last year he wanted to like walk around and video people talking about it, and he finally got to me, and I was like, I'm drunk enough. So like me and him went at it. I was like, it's not a real haunt. So honestly, like kudos to whatever he's doing, but I don't endorse it because
Correct.
it's not a haunt.
It's a little much
torture
whenever
chamber.
I'm hearing people like saying he like dips your head in water.
Well, that's
and
the
stuff
collective
like-
thing in the industry. We don't necessarily classify it as a haunted attraction. So
Okay.
what we do, haunted attraction. Like, you're coming there for a specific
But
thing.
you're safe.
But
Correct.
his is more or less torture porn. Like,
Yes.
quite literally.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly,
That's not fun.
they like
It might be.
record
I
you
mean,
while you're
whoever
there,
signs up
sell
for
those
it.
videos overseas kind of thing.
I'm sorry, what? Hold on.
No, he
Enlighten
has
me.
cameras set up through the whole thing, and he's very open about being
Allegedly.
like, yeah.
Allegedly.
Oh no, allegedly.
Well, the-
So
Oh,
allegedly,
he's not open, though.
he potentially sells videos of people kind
Like
of
everything
being
that they're
tortured, but they
doing
signed a
that.
waiver.
Correct.
And
Yeah, so that
And
Yeah.
his wife
probably
is a
kills
lawyer, so
everything.
don't try and be litigious.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
he's done
This is
crossed
all
out.
allegedly. That's
Yeah.
what I say every time. This is all allegedly from here on out.
So
And
we don't, like, literally the industry, separates ourselves from
Yeah.
what
Okay.
Russ does.
I get that.
I'm so
Okay.
glad y'all were able to like actually meet him and like because that question.
He actually
definitely
interviewed
on
us
my
back
mind.
in 2017. We had a
He
booth
did.
at the trade show, and he came up to our booth and like interviewed us. He obviously he didn't know who we were. We knew who he was, but
Oh.
it was
So-
kind of weird.
Just to make sure I understand, so this is one of those haunted attractions or suspense attractions, I guess, would be more appropriate, or
No, he tortures people.
Torture
and
attraction.
he wants to make you say I quit
I would just-
basically.
Well, yeah.
like,
So
Yeah,
you
the
have to
whole
say I quit
tapping
or
out
you win
thing.
money or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Okay,
not
so-
fun. Like I saw a video where there's one in California that's like super popular, and they put you in there and like it's excruciating the whole time, and you sign a waiver and you have to
Are
get
you
out.
talking about like exit 13 or 13th
Yeah.
gate or something, or
Yeah, yeah,
17th
yeah.
floor
It's-
or
it's-
17th?
It's one of those like
That's it.
yeah, and you're just like
That one's a little different though. That one I'm actually a fan of.
Yeah,
Really?
Only
so
because
we watched
they're
the
a lot
videos. They're
closer
really
to what
cool.
we do in terms of.
but they
it's
keep
a-
people in there.
It's an attraction where you walk from room to room, but each room is set up like as the stunt.
Yeah.
So you can opt out of the stunt that's going on, but they don't torture you. So like they'll put you through an intense experience, but what you have to like kind of lock into your brain is this is just the thing. So for example, the room where they like put a latex thing over you and they put a latex shield over you and like suck the air out of it.
Yeah.
That's something I wouldn't do because that's my fear. But it's for 7 seconds.
So you never wanted to be like vacuum sealed?
No.
Ever?
Well, we've done it with the trash bag. Do you remember when that was popular? Like
BDS.
It's not a kink anymore. It's not a kink
Hold on.
anymore.
I see it.
Hold on. You looked at me and said, "Do you remember when that was popular?"
I
have to
kinda
understand. I have
Because
to
it is your time. Your
I
time
think
kind of
you
like
and me,
created
but-
that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's when rubber was invented.
Trash bags just came out.
Glad was going.
Glad was on the upswing.
3M
Doesn't
was
even break.
3M was spreading.
Hefty.
Yeah,
Whippy,
what's
whippy,
going on?
man.
3M was spreading their from leaded paint to rubbers and plastics and well, I don't mean condoms. I meant
No,
rubbers.
To me,
Yeah.
I love what y'all have here. Like, it's terrifying, and you go through it. There's a path of motion. Like, if I just get past that scary thing.
There's a story too.
Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely.
You've created a story.
But to be fair, they have a story at what he's talking about
Oh, okay.
too. So again, they just kind of amp it up a little because I do think that people these days are desensitized to a lot of stuff. So in an ideal world, if we had a different location, if we had more space, that's something that
Better
we
than
might like.
insurance.
I would keep a traditional hunt in the way that we do it now, but like I've always wanted to do something a
Really?
little more intense. Again, not McCamey Manor level,
Yeah.
like
It's
torture,
immersive.
but like
Yeah.
just give you if you're that thrill seeker that wants to,
Here's the VIP experience.
yeah.
Well, here's my take on haunted houses. I don't go there to be scared. I go there to be entertained
Okay.
because a lot of things don't. It just
It takes
It
a lot.
takes
Barrett
a lot.
doesn't have emotions.
it's
Yeah.
that's true. I've severed
It's hard
that
to feel when you're
that
dead
tendon.
inside.
Yeah. As he says with deadpan.
It's like
You-
We'll talk later.
when you stormed Normandy, there's not a lot.
Oh no!
Scary
I'm glad you
thing.
made it back.
Yeah, but I kind of have that I want to be immersed in it, and honestly, when we talked earlier about like one of the rooms that you all had here a couple of years ago was the White Room, which was completely immersive. Like that was. I was not terrified, but it was like, how do we get out of here? And
Definition of terrified.
so describe.
Honestly, that's a panic attack for
Yes.
me, and we built the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only
Yeah.
time you heard Barrett go. Not his normal,
We
like,
had
"Yeah,
people
here's
that
what
were
we
with
do."
us that I had concerns that they were potentially going to have like
A panic
not
attack.
a cardiac, a panic attack would probably be, but it was such a cool thing because like the room, it felt like it was round, and I know you said you only just rounded the corners, but like it felt like it was round, completely filled with fog, and then like you'd be feeling along the walls trying to find the exit when there was no exit, but you'd come across this little girl from the ring, and it was like that was fantastic.
Ringy shit.
Barrett's dropping
Yes.
pins, calling his mother.
No.
The off-brand ring.
So
Yeah,
the
you
same
go to
kind of
TV.
feeling that like that room gave you, like we went to Universal last year and we got stuck on the Mummy ride,
Oh my
and
God. Oh, I love
was
the Mummy ride. I just rode it this
that's
year.
one of my favorites too.
Yes.
But the thing was, we got stuck on it, and it was her first time on it, and we literally get to the first room. This is right when they had reopened it after the renovations.
Fire just went off.
Still
First
soft
room,
opening.
we're under the thing. Yeah, the things pop up,
Yep.
and then the ride stops, and then she's excited because she's just like, "Woo!" And I'm like, "This is not part of the ride." She's like, "Yeah, right. You're trying to
I
scare
thought it
me." I was like,
does
"I'm
that.
telling you right now, this is not part of the ride. We are stuck." And she's like, "No, we're not." And then when she realized 10 minutes later the ride had not moved,
Wow.
she's starting to freak out.
This is the longest ride ever.
And I'm fine. Like
Hey.
I'd never been stuck on a ride before, but I was scared. But I was like, "Okay, hold strong for
Yeah,
your
we're not
troops."
upside down, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like a happy panic. I'm like,
She was a happy
I just
panic
got
until
loud.
she wasn't, and then her panic led to my panic because then I realized my legs were locked behind me
You're
and like the
welcome.
seats all the way down, and I'm
Yeah.
like, can I breathe right now? When are we getting out? So that's the same feeling that like that White Room gives to
Yeah.
people whenever they're in it. It's like we can't get out, can't breathe, the fog is here. So
but it's so good.
It would have been awful if you heard so would you like to play a game? You're like, this is the worst
I
part.
could see the Yelp review though.
Honestly,
Should-
the best part, he like found the phone number on the service door and
Yes.
called him. And
yeah,
like,
there was a
"How'd you get
service
this
door
number?"
behind the cart, like
That's
you would
the
never
Yelp.
see it, and I
We were
turned
there
back.
long enough.
Yes,
crazy.
And
that's
I have
the
it
Yelp
saved
review.
in my phone as universal emergency in case I
hilarious.
ever get stuck again.
Oh,
so
man.
I have a story from years and years ago when we went to Six Flags in Georgia or in Atlanta. They had the Ninja, and I don't know if that's still a ride there at Six Flags, but we were there with some
70s.
friends from a radio station, and what? Well, so we get we get on the ride, and you stand in line for a good 30 minutes to get 2-minute ride or whatever. But we get on the ride, and we do the whole ride and whatnot. It was a bit shaky. So a friend of ours that was there, she thought she had whiplash from the ride. She thought that it wasn't what it was when she rode it a time before. And so she goes over, and I never do this. I don't, especially with people that are underpaid operating these roller coasters.
Children.
Yeah. So she goes over to one
That
of
know
the
nothing about the ride.
yeah. She goes over to one of the attendees that's operating the actual release for the roller coaster to start moving, and she says yeah, I just wanted to complain. I think my neck is hurt from riding the ride. There might be something wrong with it. And he goes, oh, thank God. I thought you were going to complain about the beehive at the top of the second hill.
Oh man.
It's like, the what?
So you
The
know
beehive.
about this.
Yeah, but
my-
yeah. So that was it's odd when you consider how long did you wait in line to ride on the Mummy?
We express
actually,
past
we
it.
did.
So
We got to walk
like,
straight
right
in.
on.
And then on top of that, if you go, what people don't do, which I don't understand to this day, if you go to Disney World, if you go to Orlando, go to the parks on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Don't break our corn.
Turn our sets down.
Yeah, but if you go on Mondays and Tuesdays, it's no line. A lot of people don't come in until the weekend when it comes to
Actually, you know
the
what?
big parks.
Disney has confessed that they are seeing lower ticket sales right now because of all the crap that's going on in Florida with the governor and and all of that. It's
And the 8,000 diseases they are coming
yeah.
up with.
If you happen to be from 6 particular states, whether it's New Hampshire, Hawaii, Vermont, several states that have been deemed by the state of Florida to be, I guess, friendly to.
Say
I'm
it.
trying to think of the word. I want to say
Trying to think of the
aliens, but not
disease.
aliens. That's not the word I want to use. I just can't think of the word. But if they are friendly to migrant workers, that sort of thing, then the state of Florida has deemed that your state's driver's license doesn't work in Florida, and if you happen to get pulled over, you could have your car taken away. You can't rent a car in Florida if you're from one of these 6 states.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
I didn't even hear about that.
But they're
Oh, yeah.
shipping. They're shipping.
Insane.
Aren't they shipping people into different states already right now?
Ron
Probably
DeSantis did
almost.
pull that one off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to what we were talking.
Yeah.
So with
Trent's the one getting us on target.
I know, but
Sounds
I
like
gotta
an
ask this
aggressive
question with random, if you go into a random horror house, do you not like
Whore house.
What
horror
Horror.
horror house?
you can
Whore?
say haunted house.
Haunted house.
There you go.
Do you not like it when it's just random rooms and it doesn't have a story?
Yeah,
A little
if
bit
it doesn't
better,
flow,
maybe?
No.
if I know that there's a storyline, I can actually put that story together in my brain when I'm walking through.
Okay.
Because I do that. Not many people outside of what we do care that there's a story at all.
Exactly.
But if I go through that haunt and there's not a real flow, it's just random. I'm just cool room, but I don't get it.
Right,
Yeah.
cool
So-
scare, but
So I'll give you this example. That's a perfect segue into a story that. All right. Anyway, so they did an IP house, intellectual property house at Halloween Horror Nights this year. It was the Chucky house. That is literally one of the lowest ranking houses out of all 10 of them. This year, everyone's like, "This is a bad house, bad house, bad house." I was one of those people. We went through at the beginning of September, didn't like it, wasn't going to go back through it. We did a behind-the-scenes tour this year, and then that's when they explained to us the story behind it. And that's when I actually was like, this is good. It's like a super meta house where it's you're in a haunted house that's built by people building a haunted house, in a park. So, you're in a haunted house within a haunted house. So you're not supposed to know that you're in the haunt. I don't
So
know how
you're
to...
part of the story almost.
You're part of the story, looking at it from...
That fourth wall break.
Yeah,
Because-
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
super fourth
because
wall
Chucky
break.
was pissed that there weren't actual murders happening, so now he's killing everyone. So the first death that you cross
Interesting.
is actually the set designer, whatever, and then
Wow.
Um,
Is it that scary?
and
Are you
all the
shook?
people who are dying are actually actors in the haunt. So they're sort of in various stages of either having their costume on or whatever, but you don't necessarily know that unless you know, oh wait, this is Chucky himself killing all the people who are actually putting on a Chucky house.
Right. So you're looking
Interesting.
at a haunted house operating, basically, but you're in a haunted house.
Do you
Was
think
there-
it's just bad storytelling or bad setup?
Yeah, I was gonna
probably
say,
just
was
didn't
there
push it hard enough.
was there any way for them to have relayed that in some way to
Or how would
you
you
as
have
an
done
attendee?
Well, I can't even give tips on how to do it because like we put our story on our website and everything, and it's kind of up to the customer to like, if you care that much. Most people don't, so they're just gonna come.
Like, we coming.
They just wanna be
They know
scared.
it's a scary house. They want to get scared, but in terms of backstory, there are few people that actually care about that.
But
so
you can definitely pick it up when you go through.
you could.
I want to know when it came to developing the idea for this year's haunt. What was the? I guess what was it that pushed you towards having a farm, sort of a barn farm sort of based idea?
It was actually a happy accident. I wasn't designing it for this place. It's an idea that I've had for a very long time. And it was just kind of sitting there. So it was like, all right, well, we're tearing everything down. I had already done the logos and everything for it. And then I was just like, all right, well, let's just roll it in. So that's what I'm saying. Like the last 2 years have been very fortuitous in terms of choosing the vampires last year and then farmhouse this year. It just happened to be trending, but like I've been sitting on this idea for a while. And the crazy part about this year, there are two instances. There's a movie coming out, I guess, is it this month or next month? It's called Dark Harvest. And I was like,
it was copyright.
totally never heard of it before, but then your phone listens to everything, so I'm sure I got on TikTok and an ad for a movie called Dark Harvest pops up and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I've literally had this idea
So
for
you technically can't use that name
for
because
2 years.
We had it first.
Oh, okay, even better.
Like I said,
do, please
2
try us.
years.
We're gonna be
if
gone
they
in a
want to
month.
come out,
Right.
if anything, I'm more upset that I didn't think ahead to collab because I've seen haunted houses.
She's trying it again. This is the second time.
Can you
Trent's
please
looking at me
put
like,
that
I didn't
rabbit
see
back
that.
on the cutting block? Thank you.
With the knives that aren't secured.
Yeah.
Don't be secure, Jesus.
Yeah,
be
for me, came
secure.
out with the knife, and I was like, "That's sharp. What is that?"
Is that my own blood?
So if anything, I would have rather collabed because I've seen other haunted, bigger budget haunts do that before,
Yeah.
like with Krampus. There's one in Pittsburgh that collabed with the film studio, and they actually were able to get real props from the movie and did a tie-in. So had I known, then. But we found out 2 weeks ago that there's a movie coming out. So hey,
But
the
even
exact same
when we
thing.
go to the Horror Expo Transworld that they were talking about earlier, the year before we saw lots of sort of scarecrowy type things or just things that we haven't seen something done with a spin like that. And it's when you see something that is different than the way it's always presented to you, that's when it starts the gears turning. It's like we could do it a different way. It's not just your regular spooky, cornfield.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. When I guess so. At what point during the year do you all start planning for the haunt?
November.
A month from now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say so.
November.
As soon as
It's
it's
like a full
done.
year is what we need.
What's because we all have lives outside of this.
Correct.
We're not full-time haunters,
try.
unfortunately. We do have to it takes us a whole year to come up with ideas, come up with a floor plan, start building, detailing, all that. It takes us a whole year.
Yeah.
There is so much work that goes into this, and I cannot say it enough that people need to come out and experience.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Specifically Hall of Horrors at the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees, because
Well, we got to walk through with the lights on.
Yeah.
And that on its own was I was still like, yeah.
do you want to flip the lights off after we get everything taken down?
We can absolutely do that, and then
I don't want to take away from your
Well,
time.
no,
Y'all got
I'm-
stuff to do.
I am gonna be here until probably 4 in the
And the
morning.
way I'm okay with procrastinating at the moment.
Same.
knees hurt.
Look at Jimmy. Jimmy's like, oh, no, y'all gotta get to work.
Yeah, no, because you guys walked through and I've been looking at this empty hole in the wall for the last hour or whatever we've been doing this.
Just been
Yeah.
critiquing-
Hole
critiquing
behind it. I'm
yourself.
like, we got to get this
If
done
you
and
help,
then
though, it's
paint it.
simple,
And
let me call me. Panel paint.
that sounds very easy, doesn't it? Panel
Or
paint.
Friday
sounds
night
good.
is a new blackout night.
Oh,
Honestly, we were thinking about that too. We're like, if we don't get it done, we'll just do a blackout night.
There you
So-
go.
you're
they
gonna get
wouldn't
it
know.
done. You and the people that come to visit on Friday will have no idea. That,
They won't.
Yeah.
And it's what the people don't know won't hurt them. But
Exactly.
Until they listen to this amazing podcast.
Then
and
it'll be
like,
done
wow,
by
we got
that.
shit.
It'll be done by that
You
time.
can leave
so
it
we give
open
y'all a
and
couple
people
days.
wander in. They're like, "Is that a cinder block?" oh, I feel
It's gonna
paint, bro.
jump at me.
This wall is wet.
They still got real painters in
Wait,
here.
ants? Our ants are biting me.
well,
Don't put our ants out there on the
yeah,
air.
the ants is a personal situation. We just had pest control on Tuesday.
They're all outside, okay?
Yeah, they're outside.
well, is there anything we've missed before we wrap things up? Anything you guys can think of?
I mean, I'll say number one, thank y'all for coming out.
Absolutely.
no,
and
this is
hanging
our
out with us
pleasure.
again.
This is our pleasure.
And we're having a blast.
Thanks for
man.
being a part of it, Shelby.
I know
'cause
I was gonna be here last year, but I think something else had my time, unfortunately. But
we were also in a very small studio back then,
Yeah.
and we made. Did you guys both have to sit on one microphone for that interview? Was
Yes.
that-
Someone
yeah.
doubled up.
Well, we saw Shelby at Comic-Con, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right,
got
Shelby.
to hang out with
You
y'all
and
there.
Alex, your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby and Alex and your one of your children,
two,
right? Two,
yeah,
both of
I
them
had
were there.
both, yeah.
She said I had both. Both of them was with
Both
me.
of them
Barrett.
were with
Come
me.
on.
I only saw one.
Was it the tall one?
I don't
We were
remember.
also freaking out and sweaty from like, there's so many people talking to us right
My
now.
Xanax had fully kicked in by then, so that was but yeah, no, this is really outstanding. And what are ticket prices this year?
General admission is $15 and VIP RIP is $30.
Real quick, what's involved with the VIP?
Yeah, gotta know
So-
that.
See, that's why we don't call it VIP. RIP.
All right.
R.I.P. I'm sorry,
That's
that's
what I
good.
said VIP,
Yeah.
but RIP.
Correct.
You gonna tell him?
Explain Maestro, go ahead.
No, I mean literally it just means when we're super busy and if you don't want to wait in that line for 2-3 hours on Halloween, go ahead and spend the extra money and get in quicker. You're not gonna get to the front
Right,
of the
and
line.
it's not skip the line. It's
Yeah.
a quicker line.
Okay,
It's
quick pass,
quicker
like at
experience.
Disney
Fast
World.
pass.
Do you want me to
Because
describe
if
what I
50
think
people buy
RIP
it, we ain't letting
Yeah,
all 50 in
I
at
mean,
once.
the RIP should be is that you have Dylan running around with a squirt bottle spraying you in the face. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Honestly, I'm okay with
Use your
that.
immersive experience.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, guys, thank you for having us out here
Thanks,
because
man.
it was really a lot of fun. We got to walk through, and you showed us that, and we potentially maybe we'll work out another walkthrough in the dark or something. We'll see.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Come back
So-
out after we're open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to like come work or volunteer or become a part of a really
So-
cool organization,
So
come on out.
Yes.
so let's hard sell that real quick. So people that want to be involved in the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees, how can they get a hold of you guys? Not only
Do
just
y'all
for
put
the
something
haunt,
out
but
on
just
Facebook
in
to let people know like it's like auditions? Like, come on. we need people.
but even from that, because this
'Cause
is
we
an
can help.
organization that you all could absolutely, you want more people involved, right? You want to make sure that your name is out
they
there.
want the
and what
right
it
people
is.
involved. I feel like.
True.
Well, I mean, I guess if to like quickly specify on that, like
Yeah.
you can be the right person. A lot of people get intimidated when they're like, I'm not, high enough in standard to come out and do that kind of thing.
Or
'cause I
I'm
don't know
not
what I'm
leadership
doing.
material.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
it's-
we're for, is to
you
groom
are
you to being
because
a
I
leader.
can tell you when I started in this organization as just a member, I was not professional at all. If you get my drift, like I kind of didn't.
Well, we
that
heard
didn't
about the
matter to me
fireball.
yet.
We heard about the
Yeah.
fireball.
Well,
so.
that was just
Well.
last year.
She's like, oh no, I'm sorry.
But,
And now she's
like,
president.
Honestly, like doing
And
this
she
has
don't
helped
drink
me-
Fireball no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different. Changing
Yeah.
up.
Hurts my tummy. But before like doing all this, I actually learned a new level of professionalism that I wouldn't have had without it, because it's forced me to like get up and be interactive with like our higher ups that you have to be formal for and all sorts of stuff like that. That was like a big thing for me. But we've had a few members that I've seen really grow by like signing up and like, I don't really know what to do. I'm like, well, let me give you responsibility as well as backing, because that's what it's about. You can safely try and fail here. And it helps you learn what you can take from this and put it out there,
Nice.
like in the real world. So,
Establishing that pursuit and the purpose.
Yeah.
All on top of it.
yeah.
So website specifically for the West Columbia Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees.
I think it's CWC
Jaycees.org.
Jaycees.org.
Mhm. Okay.
Just search that.
All right, so we'll make sure to include that in the show notes.
And
so
then it's hallofhorrors.org as
Yep.
well. And there's a link on there to sign up to volunteer.
Oh,
and you
terrific.
do not have to be JC age to volunteer. Anyone
Yeah.
who wants
Okay.
to act, if they just want to act, they can act.
15 or older. And
Oh, yes.
15 to 17 has to have your parent sign up for you, like help
Okay.
sign in. But
But-
other than that,
very, very
if
cool.
you're 41, you can come here.
Well, Bear's a little bit older than that, so
42?
you got to keep going. You got to climb that ladder.
I was gonna.
I'm going to say you're 35, actually. And I know it. I saw
That's very kind of you.
Your driver's license fell in the parking lot, and she
She
His
cut me
mustache might
earlier
be
and was
35,
counting the
but I
rings.
don't know.
Thank you very much.
I did.
Mustache is definitely better.
Oh, my joke didn't fly because they weren't listening.
Well,
we
She
heard
cut
it in
me
the-
earlier,
Repeat
and
it.
she counted the rings.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
dang,
Anyway.
yeah. I lost its funny
You're a
after
big
the
oak.
first time.
You're a big oak tree, so I
Okay. All right, strong like
Whole
wood.
onion.
All right. I listened to that episode today.
Oh, I got
All right, that's going to do for episode number 175 of the All About Nothing podcast.
175. That's a
yeah,
good number
175
for us
is
to
a good number.
Congrats.
Again,
What number were they?
the last time it was
Yeah.
pre 100.
Yeah,
we-
that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we've
Which
we've
it
done a
felt
lot
like
of episodes.
last year,
I don't
but-
give these guys a lot of breaks, is what it is.
And I'm probably your number one like YouTube like replayer in Apple.
He just likes to
Podcasts.
watch
Just
No,
stuff
no.
on that one.
I texted him and
Just make
sent
sure
him
you
a
hit that like button.
screenshot.
That's all we wanna
I was
see.
like, hey, is it narcissistic the amount of times I've listened to?
Absolutely.
If
This
yours
specific
becomes
episode.
number one, we know why.
Yeah, that's right.
We know why.
It's pretty close,
That's what I'm
actually.
saying.
It's
pretty
because
close.
of O'Shawn.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, O'Shawn. Thank you, Shelby, for being. You were checking again to see if I was going to say it wrong.
waiting.
Spell it.
Shelby.
Okay.
Wow. Government name on the air. Got it.
That's right. Birth date.
addresses.
I have to check Facebook.
What's the
for that.
height? Okay.
Height. I'm gonna guess 4'9", 4. No, I'm sorry. I'm just
See,
kidding.
now
I'm
you've been.
just kidding.
Don't
I'm
get in
just
trouble.
kidding.
Don't get in trouble.
Links to all of our past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, social media are available on our website, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger by supporting the show? Visit theallaboutnothing.com and click on the support link near the top of the page. You can subscribe monthly to varying levels, including the Trent tier, or you can leave us a one-time tip if you'd like through the donation page. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can join our Discord channel by clicking on the banner at the top of the webpage. Please subscribe to the show, like, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, all of that, Instagram, whatever.
We are there.
Share us with your family and friends. Thank you for listening. Everyone stay safe and...
Keep it spooky.
Yeah.
The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. Thanks to Trent Clark, aka DJ Lonzo. Join him weekly at the venue in Columbia, South Carolina for the Saturday All-Star Drag Brunch and Sundays at the Review Drag Brunch. You can also contact Trent for all your entertainment needs. Trent at theallaboutnothing.com and on Instagram at TheRealDJLonzo. You can also phone him, 803-262-7982. Thanks to Zach King. You can follow him on Instagram at KingZach07 and on Twitter at CarolinaKing21. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Barrett Gruber or visit my Linktree/Barrett Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. To find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcast. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Me takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all the podcast platforms. Visit WTWLpod.com for details. Check out DJ Lonzo's Top 5, available on all of the podcast platforms. As well, you can listen to the political and social conversation between Dr. Jamela Brooks and Bill Kimmler on Black, White, and Blue in the South, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. Thank you for listening. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2023, all rights reserved.